hundreds of problems with our previous system. We were using a big piece of software that we use for other things as well, and we were using the workflow element for that. We couldn't use it as a standalone operation. We had to have spreadsheets that supported it, which meant we were exporting information into spreadsheets to be able to get more detail out of it. And at one point we were also maintaining spreadsheets to keep us up to date and effectively running two systems alongside each other, trying to get the right information.
Obviously one of the partners here, so we have regular meetings every Tuesday morning. We're looking at the jobs held board functionality within Glide that tells the partners what jobs are sat with them, because we review the partners' jobs held board. So that helps chivvy us along in getting jobs through quicker, which means we can get them invoiced quicker, hit the deadlines earlier. And obviously that functionality exists across the team as well. So all of the team are also minded to their jobs held list and know where they are, and it helps them organise their workflow on a regular basis. It's helping the staff put appropriate amounts of time in the future for looking after the clients well, so it does help us manage our deadlines better and be more efficient at getting the jobs done.
Before we used Glide, to know where jobs were, who'd got them, where physical records were, what stage the jobs were at in preparation, it was all very clunky. As a job was started up to passing it through to review, we didn't know where jobs were at, because Glide is so easy to progress. It's easy to have more job stages, and the note facility on the jobs as well, so we know what's going on.
We ended up finding Glide from a app promoter's side in the first instance, and your name cropped up, and then we asked the question of some other accountants that we know, has anyone had any dealings with Glide? And then somebody said, oh yes, we've just put it in, and that's when we started the ball rolling. That's when we ended up contacting Glide.
We had a list of criteria that we wanted to meet when we were looking for software, and Glide ticked more than 90% of that criteria that we were looking for. It was just something that had obviously been thought out and used by accountants, and we had faith that it would work for us because it ticked so many of the things that we were looking for.
So the problems we were looking to solve in the main were staff scheduling and staff work planning. So historically we were using Iris and using the Iris practice management system. The issue with that was that we were struggling to be able to use it in a way that we could use. Scheduler, or what we use now on Glide is Scheduler, what was then called Staff Planner, I believe, in Iris, was very clunky, very difficult for our staff to use. It required multiple different levels of inputting data, quite often the same data at different stages, to get the one answer out. And when you did get that one answer out, it wasn't really that user friendly and that easy to use. So we really struggled to monitor what workloads the staff had on at that point.
Because we've moved to digital files, so the actual paper files had long gone, so you couldn't actually physically see where a client's folder was. It wasn't sat on my desk up here. It had all gone into the digital world, so we were losing visibility of who was sat on what file, and Glide has helped that visibility enormously, and it just means everybody knows where they are with the job. We all know where everybody else is with the job.
Glide helps with the smooth running every day in all sorts of ways. I think from my point of view, just knowing who's doing what, if we get a query from a client, the girls in reception are able to find out who is working on something, at what stage it's at. It's all real-time information, and that gives us the ability for really good customer service.
We can see the scheduler of all of the members of the team, including us, as to what work we've got scheduled in for when, beautifully graphically demonstrated, so we can see gaps to see where people are quiet. So we can obviously ensure those gaps are filled, book jobs in. So certainly the scheduler has helped do that enormously. And also again, the jobs held functionality, which says, well, all the jobs are sat with us. That's the visibility from us as partners to be able to see not only what the partners are sat with, but also to see what all the team members are currently sat with. The graphical visibility of that is so much better on Glide, certainly.
Glide's had an amazing impact on our practice. It's changed every element of what all of us do. Glide has helped us more easily identify our workflow position, so from not just from an admin point of view, but accounts team, everybody, all the department managers can see everything running through the system, whether it's gone from tax to back to accounts, whether it's come to admin to send out to the client. Just that, getting your hands on the information really quickly so that we can answer those questions internally and externally, and reporting on it easily as well.
We use Glide as a practice management tool for managing both our workflow and our time management within our practice. If I was to sort of use specific words to describe it, I would say it was user friendly, and I would say that it was easy to learn. I think some of the issues with some of the other softwares out there is that they can be very good, but they can be quite difficult to learn and also quite difficult to teach to other people and get people to understand them. So yeah, Glide for us stands out because it has been so easy for the staff to pick up, and it has been very user friendly for what we wanted. I suppose the main area that it's helped with smooth running is the job stages and the job cards. I found those really useful on Glide. Whilst other softwares like Iris that I mentioned that we were using before does use job stages and does use a kind of similar process, the flexibility to be able to make adjustments to the job cards, being able to change the layout and the process, the actual steps that it has within it, it is so easy. It means that we really can make pertinent changes when we need them. We've been able to come back to you with genuine development ideas and say we think this is a good, we think it should go this way or go that way, and you listen to what we want, and then lo and behold that those changes happen, and it's not talking to a brick wall. We feel like we're being listened to, and it feels like that, you know, there are genuine improvements happening with the software as well. So the flexibility of the software, the flexibility of those processes has made a massive improvement to the way we do our work planning and our workflow. We're able to now be in a position where we know who's working on what jobs, when did they start those jobs. We're able to communicate with each other with the little notes on each of the job cards, which have made a massive difference with our ability to give a good service to the client. So if there's slight changes we need to make on particular jobs from from one job to another, we can make those notes on that stage and make those improvements. So for us that's been a massive improvement, and it's made life a lot easier with monitoring workloads.
We found Glide is very versatile, and with Ben's help we've been able to come with making our own workflows, and as admin manager I don't always need the workflow for accounts or tax, but there are things I do internally that have deadlines, have review points that I want to keep track of, so I was able to create one for our fee reviews to keep on top of who's paying when and when they're coming up for renewal, which has been invaluable.
It's close to being revolutionary, really, because we were so stuck with our existing software. So when we took the plunge and dived in, took some while to set up, all softwares do, and Ben and his team were absolutely brilliant at helping us get the setup right. And no questions seem to be too stupid. Ben and his team had seen the questions before. They understand accountancy practices and how the system should work. So they've got ideas and they know what's best practice for their other customers. The other thing that we did turn on for Glide, which is one of its features, which we decided that we would have, was the time and fees functionality. So that's the other reason why Glide is always open. It's not just telling us what we should be doing. We're also recording the time that we're spending on our customers our clients to be able to capture all that information. So Glide is permanently open on everybody's screen. It's either telling them what they need to do, or it's encouraging them to book some time. And because of the way Ben and his team helped with all our workflows, which you've got standard workflows within Glide, but you tweak them just for each practice, or you tweak them just for us so that they worked for us. And Glide has just helped us. It encourages us to get the job done quicker, faster. We can have the awkward conversations of who sat on what jobs easier, and it's just turning the jobs around quicker. Also using the time and fees functionality, which is live, also helps. We don't have to wait for a timesheet upload function to be able to see exactly what our work in progress is on any specific job. So also I think that's helped our invoicing as well. So in terms of it's sped up our throughput within the practice and helped us get our invoices out in smarter time.
So Glide has had a massive impact on our practice. It's been almost I don't want to say monumental because it sounds over the top, but it has been really a massive key improvement to our practice and the way we do things. Being able to, as I know I keep banging on about it, but scheduler with the work planning, with the notes on the systems, the ease in which it's used, the ease in which we can look to get things adjusted and changed and more streamlined for ourselves. Just the buy-in from the staff. One of the big issues when you make a change to anything, but certainly with softwares, is there's quite often a bit of pushback from staff because it's change and all change is quite often seen as bad. But because it's been so easy to use, the staff have just picked it up really quickly and have been real key drivers and champions of the software and making it being implemented into the practice smoother because of that. So it's had a massive impact on the firm from that perspective, and it's definitely saved a huge amount of time for us from an administrative perspective as a department within the accounts department.
Glide has had a massive impact on our practice. What we use now has gone miles beyond our aspirations of what we actually wanted Glide to be. We hit those aspirations within the first 5 or 6 weeks, and then we've managed to develop the software and the systems further beyond that to just provide us with more and more detailed and useful information. We now have weekly management meetings where we go through lots of different details generated out of Glide, and we chat through them in about 35 minutes. Prior to that information took days and weeks to obtain, that we couldn't review it on a weekly basis. So not only has it helped us tick over our workflow, it's given us loads of really useful information really frequently because it's so easy to access.
It will have helped speed through the job throughout the practice. So we will be hitting deadlines much earlier and delivering faster information through to the customers than we used to, just because of the way Glide helps you and encourages you to click the next button forward to move a job on. So that's the best benefit that our customers, our clients would have seen, hopefully, is that we're doing the jobs quicker and faster. Once we get them in, we're turning them around quicker, because as soon as they're booked in, the system suddenly is working great for us to encourage us to get the job finished and built.